Hey guys, how's it going? Dusty Smith here. And so much crazy religious bullshit happened in May 2017 alone that it's going to take me 2 videos to do it. I already did the first video on this, and now this is the second video. This is the month in religious bullshit, May 2017, part 2. Let's get started. So let's start off with David E. Taylor. He's a Christian con man televangelist from the area I'm from, around the Memphis area. This is another one of those shameless con men who pretends he has magical powers. He can knock motherfuckers down with a wave of his hands. He even claimed that he resurrected a woman one time by sending her a text. I shit you not. But when it comes to the reasons why he had to spend $30,000 in 2 years alone in clothes for himself, apparently there is one ailment that God just can't fix.
2013 and 14, you spent over, GMMI spent over $30,000 in your clothes. Does that sound about right?
What year was that?
13 and 14.
Oh God, yes, because I was traveling so much, yes, and sweating through all my clothes. Exactly. That probably wasn't enough.
Yeah, you heard it, folks. God uses this guy to heal shit like spinal injuries. He even uses this guy to resurrect motherfuckers from the dead with text messages. But when it comes to this guy's sweat glands, God's fucking powerless against that. I think you're gonna need $30,000 worth of Louis Vuitton suits, dude. Obviously. Absolutely no conscience whatsoever. Do you have any idea how many poor, sick, hurting people could be helped by the money that you're stealing from folks? Literally just a sack of shit shoved into a $5,000 suit. And now that the IRS has raided Benny Hinn, hopefully guys like this will get a second look. This brand of prosperity pimp should be wiped off the face of the earth. And have you guys seen this shit? An excellent representative for what a Donald Trump supporter is like in America.
Ever. Okay? You can try to act like you're innocent. You can try to fuck with me. Guess what? You will never, ever stop me, my Christianity, from rising above your Sharia law. Your Sharia law don't mean shit to me, motherfuckers. Guess what? Guess what? My shit is so fucking strong. You motherfuckers are weak as fuck. Guess what? ISIS don't mean shit to me, motherfucker. No. ISIS don't mean shit to me, motherfucker. Don't run me. Donald Trump will stop you! Donald Trump will stop you! Donald Trump will stop you, motherfucker! He's not gonna touch your child. He's not gonna touch your child. Donald Trump! Donald Trump, motherfucker! Donald Trump got you, motherfuckers! Watch. Suck my dick, suck my goddamn dick! Right there! Right fucking there, nigga! My dick!
Why, you doing that in front of our woman, man? Fuck you then.
Fuck shit! My fucking country is the greatest country in the world! My country is the greatest country in the world!
Go ahead.
Don't give him this man's face. My country is the greatest country in the goddamn world! Ever! Look at that! Donald Trump, motherfuckers! Fuck with Donald Trump! Come fuck with Donald Trump! Come fuck with Donald Trump! That's my motherfucking nigga! That's my motherfucking president! Fuck my fucking president right there! Fuck my president! Fuck my president! Fuck my president! Fuck my president! You can't fuck my president! My president shit! Fuck you too!
You ain't never gonna destroy my Christianity! Donald Trump will stop you! Donald Trump will stop you! Fuck with my president! Fuck with my president! Literally hard to fucking watch. That is so cringy. This is why we're now an embarrassment to the rest of the world. You can almost see the insecurity coming out of this dude's pores. Just messing with people at the beach who were minding their own fucking business weren't bothering him simply because they were foreign. Obviously, this guy has a really sad, fucked up life and he has to try to take it out on other people. And no, I'm not saying this one dude represents all of Trump's supporters, but he does represent a shit fucking ton of them. And this is the kind of stuff that most other YouTubers aren't showing you because it really doesn't fit into their narrative. This is just as cringy as anything you'll see a social justice warrior doing, but they rarely cover it when it's a Donald Trump supporter because it doesn't fit in the worldview they're trying to sell you. This is just a big old box of Kraft macaroni and cringe. It's the cringiest. Just all kinds of sad. And if you guys from other countries are interested in hearing about how right-wing Christian pundits talk about Donald Trump, the craziest fucking shit you ever heard, have a listen.
If you don't back Trump now, it's all lost forever. It's time to fight like a cornered Wolverine. It's time to fight like it's the end of America, because it is. We can't go back in time and save Sir William Wallace. We can't go back and save Jesus Christ from being nailed to the cross. But we can change the future course of history today. There's still time to stand with Donald Trump against the forces of evil. Either take a stand now, either draw a line in the sand, or forever remember the day you gave away your children's and your grandchildren's freedoms and future. We must all stand together to stop the crucifixion of President Donald J. Trump.
You know, if assholes like this were just crazy, it'd be bad enough, but it's actually much more nefarious. These guys are actually fucking con men. Their job is to make the Christian doofs that send them money as afraid as they possibly can be. They have to hype up the fear and outrage to maximum level. So in their minds, Trump is like this William Wallace, Christ-like figure that we must defend at all costs. And the fact that so many people who call themselves skeptics and atheists have gotten in bed with these crazy Christian assholes is pretty depressing. It's just my opinion, but when you find yourself on the same side as these type of shitheads, you might want to reevaluate some of your life decisions. And in Missouri, State Representative Rick Bratton is trying to make it easier to discriminate against gay people, and he actually got on the House floor and said, there's a distinction between homosexuality and just being a human. Oh my fucking god. Fuck you, you balding, pathetic waste of semen. I got $100 that says in the next 2 years, this guy's gonna get caught in a hotel with a rent boy. Happens to these motherfuckers all the time. You see, they just can't come to grips with their sexuality, and it makes them hate themselves. They become self-hating gays. And when you have this type of self-loathing, it often makes you lash out at others who you see as a mirror of the thing you hate about yourself. We see right through you, you big homo. Dude, if you weren't such a giant fucking shithead, I would actually feel sorry for you a little bit. Look, dude. Just because you have the uncontrollable urge to tickle your buddy Ron's butthole does not make you any less of a human being. You're just as much of a human as the rest of us. It doesn't matter how many dicks you put in your mouth. It doesn't make you subhuman, dude. Just have the guts to come out already. Everybody who actually matters will accept you just for what you are, and the ones that don't aren't worth your time anyway. Somebody please want to get this uptight motherfucker a dick stat? But this is the kind of bullshit that's constantly going on at the state level of our governments. Christians run all this shit, and unfortunately, it's a big problem. And even though this didn't happen in May, this actually just happened this last week, I just wanted to include it because it's so fucking hilarious. These two posts from Josh Fierstein were literally fucking posted 10 minutes apart. First he posts, if you're easily offended and looking for a safe place, my page ain't it. Move along, snowflake. And he's like, I love Jesus, I love America, I love guns, and I love freedom. Deal with it. And then 10 minutes later, this fat asshole who looks like he sweats grease gets totally fucking triggered by a goddamn McDonald's fry box. No self-awareness whatsoever. Acting all big and bad like he's too un-PC to ever be offended. And then we see it actually doesn't take shit to offend him. It's not like he's outraged by some major injustice in the world. He's literally outraged by a goddamn fry box. Oh my god, they put a rainbow on the fry box. They done gone too far. Now while I'm eating these fries, I won't have any choice but to think of them as dicks. Come on, dude. You really dissing on McDonald's? Ain't no fucking way Josh Fierstein's gonna convince me he ain't tried a cheeseburger or 10 in his life. Anyway, more irony from this hypocritical piece of shit. And idiots are mad at Joel Olsteen for doing the hook 'em horn sign. You know, cause it's for the devil. Why on earth will you do the devil sign? My goodness, a thumbs up would have worked. Or don't you have thumbs? And yeah, what's with the Satan hex? And hey dude, why that sign? Really, your teachings have uplifted us? But that sign makes me concerned and worried. And hey, psst, Joe, I read and I share your devotions with my family. Very fond of you, but you should have been sensitive to that sign. To Christ, it's wrong. And doing horns, even though it's UT, that symbol ain't good. The devil symbol. This is one of the downsides from conning money from some of the dumbest people on earth. The same stupidity that makes it so easy for you to trick them out of their money can be turned right back around on your ass in a heartbeat. But sorry folks, if Jesus is not mad at Joel for conning his flock out of millions of dollars, I'm pretty sure he don't give a fuck that Joel does his fingers like this. And right here in Mississippi, one of my state representatives, Carl Oliver, says that those opposing Confederate monuments should be lynched. I shit you not, this motherfucker said this. The destruction of these monuments, erected in the loving memory of our family and fellow Southern Americans, is both heinous and horrific. If the, and I use this term extremely loosely, leadership of Louisiana wishes to, in a Nazi-ish fashion, burn books or destroy historical monuments of our history, they should be lynched. Let it be known, I will do all in my power to prevent this from happening to our state. Dude, half of fucking Mississippi is black, okay? Can't you understand why it's a problem to have symbols and flags that do not represent half of the fucking people in the state? To a lot of people, and rightfully so, these are symbols of oppression. Now, if they want to auction these off or give them away to private citizens to show them on private land, that's perfectly fine, do that. But having this shit on state property, places that are supposed to represent all of us, it's fucking stupid because this shit absolutely does not represent all of us. Not only does it not represent the black people, but it doesn't represent a lot of us white people either. I have no ties whatsoever to the dipshits who are conned to give their lives and fight for slavery. Zero. And the fact that you're bringing up lynching while we talk about Confederate monuments, that's clear fucking race baiting of the most transparent kind. It's so fucking embarrassing that this is the leadership here in Mississippi. It makes all the fucking stereotypes the rest of the world has about us look true. But trust me, world, we're not all fucking like this. Not everybody in Mississippi is a backward caveman. Hopefully, eventually, we'll be able to call this shit out enough to remove these motherfuckers from office. And in California, this douchebag fucking special ed teacher, I guess he got pissed off that the student newspaper focused on lesbian and gay issues. So he actually wrote a letter to the paper that they published saying women who turned against the natural way to have sex and men who did shameful things with other men deserve to die. I know I've used this line before, but oh my God, the special ed teacher is retarded. Fuck you, dude. Good luck on the unemployment line. That's exactly where you deserve to be. Telling your gay and lesbian students they deserve to die for simply how they were born. You absolutely should not be teaching kids any fucking where. Keep this guy as far away from the classroom as you possibly can. And here's a story about how a Russian Orthodox priest was trying to stop cybercrime on government computers. So he did the logical thing. He fucking flung fucking water at those computers. And look at these fucking idiots, just letting him do it. Look at this make-believe motherfucker. This dorky-ass hat and his long robe and his fucking stupid-ass cane flinging water all over goddamn computers. Hey, our computers have been running kind of funny. What do you think we ought to do about it? I don't know. Maybe we ought to bring a preacher in and let him sling water all over them. Genius. That's just crazy enough to work. Because in my experience, nothing improves the functionality of electronics more than water. Everybody involved in this should be fired immediately. But on second thought, it's Russia. So go ahead and douse all those computers with water. Maybe you are doing the Lord's work. And I know this will come as a complete shock to you guys, but if someone's borrowing money from you and they mention God, then there is a much less likely chance they're actually going to pay you back. It's true. They actually did a study on this and wrote a paper. Apparently they were looking for ways to predict the likelihood on whether somebody would pay a borrower back or not. So they used data from the website Prosper, which is a peer-to-peer lending site where you basically go give your pitch on why you need money. And other people read your pitch and decide if they want to give you that money. And what they found is the more likely somebody is to use the word God in their spiel, the less likely they are to actually pay you back. The more assertive the promise, the more likely he will break it. If someone writes, I promise I will pay back, so help me God, he is among the least likely to pay you back. Someone who mentions God was 2.2 times as likely to default. This was among the single highest indicators that someone would not pay you back. And this really shouldn't come as a shock to anybody. The prisons are just chock full of godly men. Dishonest people often use God as a way to try to manipulate you. And besides, if they don't pay you back, all they have to do is ask God for forgiveness, and it's like they never borrowed shit from you to begin with. So buyer beware, if the guy that wants money from you mentions God, run the fuck the other direction. And here's a funny ass Christian sign. Jesus, name above all names. But there's a name above fucking Jesus, Allison. You motherfuckers need Allison. And here's another story out of Mississippi that pisses me off. A fucking funeral home around here refused to transport or cremate a body of a man because they found out he was fucking gay. This is Picayune Funeral Home out of Picayune, Mississippi. The defendants of the funeral home abruptly refused to transport Mr. Husky's body and otherwise breached their agreement upon learning that the deceased was a gay man whose next of kin was his lawful husband, communicating only that they didn't deal with their kind. Can you imagine these fucking assholes? This nice guy just comes in, 80-year-old dude just lost the love of his life, having to deal with that tragedy, and the fucking funeral home is gonna lump on to his misery by saying, we don't deal with your kind. This is exactly what Trump and the conservatives are trying to make legal right now. The Religious Freedoms Bill, the whole point of this is to allow them to discriminate against people. And I say, fuck no. If you're a business that is open to the public, you have to treat everybody equally. You can't discriminate against somebody because they're gay. You can't discriminate against somebody because they're black. And it's really important we stand up against this shit, because next they're going to be discriminating against people because they're atheist. In fact, they're already fucking doing it. Right now in Texas, the House is trying to pass a bill that will allow Christian-run adoption agencies to discriminate against atheist parents. These motherfuckers are trying to pass a bill that lets these Christian adoption agencies still get government money, but discriminate against any atheist they want to. You motherfuckers thought social justice warriors were annoying? Well, just wait till you're denied the opportunity to raise and care for a baby simply because you're atheist. These are the people in charge right now making the laws that affect our lives. These people are literally trying to discriminate against us for being smart. And I know I say this a lot, but the fact that so few people are talking about this is depressing as fuck. I'm not kidding, folks. It really is time to make atheism great again. We have failed, and it's time to turn this shit around and do something about it. And I'm gonna go ahead and end this with a correction. In my last video, I did a story about a pedophile priest with HIV who raped 30 children and was forgiven by the church. Well, apparently I didn't do my due diligence and I was duped. I looked into this story further, and upon checking it out, I could not verify this was actually true or not. But really, the fact that we can hear a story about a pedophile priest raping 30 children being forgiven by the church and not blink an eye about whether it might be true or not, that's a pretty big indictment on the Catholic Church as it is. This kind of shit has happened so much that no one would be surprised in the least if this were true. And that's why I still stand behind everything I said about Catholics in my last video. Every single bit of it is still true, even if this story is not. Case in point, here's a story that is real. How a nun at school for deaf children helped the fucking priest abuse the children. Kosaka Kumoku was charged Friday with physically abusing the kids and helping the priest sexually abuse them. After a 17-year-old girl finally came forward after all these years and said the nun covered up her sexual assault by forcing her to wear a diaper in class at age 5 to conceal her bleeding. Ah, you motherfucker! It's not just the priest doing this bad shit. There's an institutional rot from the top fucking down. The Catholic Church is one of the most evil organizations ever created. And if you're a part of it in any way, shame the fuck out of you. And this kind of crazy religious bullshit is happening so often, there's literally too many stories for me to cover. This dirty cop says he became a thief and a drug dealer because of Satan. This same Christian douchebag I talked about in the last show says that America's problems can be blamed on abortions, which feed the demonic realm. He's like, oh, the blood of the innocents is feeding demons. Like he's living in a fucking B-movie or something. This stupid church sign says to forget goggle. God has the answers. You motherfuckers literally should have Googled how to spell Google. And the crazy thing is, Google is about as close to God as we've ever had on this planet. At least when I ask Google a question, it fucking answers me. And according to a recent Gallup poll, fewer people than ever believe the Bible is literally true. Great news. Now we just gotta get these motherfuckers to stop believing the Bible is figuratively true or true in any meaningful way whatsoever. Can't wait till we get there. This news channel did a puff piece on a psychic who says she speaks to unborn babies. That's not news, you lame fucks. Pastor Rick Joyner says Christians will soon be able to predict the news a week in advance. If that were true, wouldn't you motherfuckers just be playing the lottery instead of making lame-ass YouTube videos? Just literally an endless amount of shit to go through. In my opinion, the atheist community has really dropped the ball on all this shit in the last couple years. The truth is, we kicked the shit out of Christianity on the internet, but then we turned our backs on it and focused on other things, and it got up off the ground, dusted itself off, and hit us in the back of the head with a fucking 2x4. And now it's time for us to get back to doing what we were doing before, whipping that monkey ass, intellectually beating the fuck out of these con men and politicians, and burning down all this ridiculous bullshit with logic. Fuck yes. Hey guys, Dusty Smith here, and as you can see, the kitties are getting bigger. Those of you who remember from last month, we rescued these kitties from a storm drain. If you like my show, please consider becoming a Patreon on patreon.com. My Patreons are really the only reason my channel still exists, and all the donations I get on my Patreon channel go to support the Humanist Society of Mississippi Animal Sanctuary, where we help out cute guys like this. So if you can help out, please do it. Thanks a lot.